Pull out your wands, friends. And yes, we are strictly talking about magic wands. We're about to dive into 12 things that you didn't know about spellcasters. Let's go. First up is that you can actually use the Inferniate spell to kill Sims. It's just a bit tricky. You see, if you cast Inferniate directly on a sim, then the fire will fizzle out rather quickly and sadly not kill them. However, if you cast Inferniate on the ground directly under a sim, then the fire acts like a regular fire that can kill sims, and it will also be very likely to set the sim standing on top of it ablaze. Not long after, they will pass away. I will flag that I found this to be way more successful on residential lots and not work nearly as well on community lots. I'm not sure what it is about community lots, but Sims really didn't want to burn to death on them, which honestly was a bit of a shame. Next up is that if you have the Vampires game pack, then spellcasters can use the Inferniate spell on the statue of Vlad that's located in the central area of the Forgotten Hollow, effectively burning it down. Yes, it is a bit of payback for Vlad rocking up to all of your Sims' homes at 2 AM. Also, if you liked the statue, then don't worry. If you leave and then come back, then the statue will magically reappear. Moving on, and if you have the Paranormal Stuff pack, then spellcasters will train up the medium skill faster than normal sims. From my testing, they'll save around 25% of the usual time it takes to train the skill, but they will also get an additional focused moodlet when training the medium skill. And if being focused becomes their main mood, then they'll save around 50% of the usual time it takes to train the medium skill, essentially seeing them level it incredibly fast. The fourth thing that we'll talk about is that spellcasters have a genetic trait that they'll pass down onto their offspring. This comes in the form of a weak, strong, and ancient bloodline trait, and these are generational. If a spellcaster with no bloodline has a baby, then the offspring will be born with the weak bloodline trait. Then if a baby is born and at least one parent has a weak bloodline, then the baby will be born with the strong bloodline trait. Finally, if a baby is born and at least one parent has a strong bloodline, then the baby will be born with an ancient bloodline trait. Note that this trait can even be passed down to babies born a human. For example, if a human baby has one parent who's a regular sim with no bloodline, and another who's a spellcaster with an ancient bloodline, then they'll still receive the ancient bloodline trait. All of the bloodline traits grant spellcasters with an additional talent point at each spellcaster rank, which is hugely helpful. A weak bloodline also increases experience gained and reduces the chance of overloading by 10%. A strong bloodline does the same, but by 20%, and an ancient bloodline also does this, but by a massive 50%. So yes, they are nice traits for your spellcaster to have. Next up is that if you have the Werewolves game pack, then there's an extra wand that you can uncover, being the Moonwood Wand. This wand comes with an intricate wooden or black base and a blue or alternatively an orange/red moon-shaped gem at its tip. I don't know if it's actually a gem, but I'm going to call it one. This wand is rather hard to find, as you'll need to use a werewolf scavenger ability to dig up and find a werewolf book before reading it to unlock the Lunar Epiphany power. Then you'll need to again use the scavenger ability to find the diary of Gregorius Lundvik in Moonwood Mill, before reading it until you uncover a diary entry that mentions bringing a spellcaster into the tunnels, and reveals a secret about a mysterious room within said tunnel system. Then you'll need to explore the tunnels, ideally with the night vision werewolf ability, and hopefully find the Moonwood Wand. Know that yes, if you gift this wand to spellcasters, then they will be able to use them. It's a little bit of a weird flex, but I'm totally here for it. The sixth thing you likely didn't know is that the sages are more useful than you think. Yes, they can turn you into a spellcaster and even back into a regular sim, but if you reach the Virtuoso Spellcaster rank and have around mid-level friendship with them, then each of the 3 sages can teach you one ultimate spell that relates to their magic specialty. This includes a practical magic spell to turn regular sims into spellcasters, a mischief magic spell that will temporarily turn a sim green and make them repulsive, and an untamed magic spell to duplicate yourself. On top of this, dueling sages for artifacts can be a great way to get some of the rarest magical artifacts in the game, such as the Wand of the Elementals and the Crystal Zuma brooms. Note that if you are dueling sages for artifacts, then I highly suggest the Master Duelist Spellcaster perk, both to increase your chance of winning and to provide you with more rewards. A quick one now, being that all of the magical artifacts make for great decorations. While some of these, like the familiar orbs, are kind of obvious, it is much less obvious for some of the brooms, which can both be great for fast travel and wall decor. Also, don't forget to pop your Spellcaster's wand of choice into a snazzy wand display case. The next thing that you need to know is that if your sim faces a normally death-causing experience while a familiar is active, then the familiar will actually come to their rescue and save them. Do know that there is a cooldown for this, so I wouldn't risk dying repeatedly. Moving on, and know that you can have hybrid ghost spellcaster sims, who have the powers of both supernatural life states. For this, you'll need to have your spellcaster sim die, before then hanging around their grave until their ghost appears, before befriending them and asking them to join your household. I should also flag that using the Untamed Necrocall spell at night is a great way to force a ghost to emerge from their grave too, but yes, just in case 24 spells and 15 potions wasn't enough for your spellcaster sim, they'll now be able to use all of the ghost interactions and abilities too. The 10th thing that we're going to talk about is that spellcasters can very easily commit insurance fraud. All you'll need is a spellcaster who knows both the Inferniate and the Repario spells, then buy something very expensive, such as the 12,000 simoleon Princess Cordelia bed, and use Inferniate to set it on fire. Once it's sufficiently charred, you'll want to put out the fire, and this will see you get a payout equal to 40% of the furniture's cost. Then simply cast Repario on the bed to make it as good as new, before rinsing and repeating while the insurance company conveniently turns a blind eye to your chaotic shenanigans. Before too long, you'll be rich. The next thing that we'll talk about is how a spellcaster's charge can impact on how powerful their spells become, with many spells having stronger effects at a higher charge. For example, if you cast the Zip Zap Untamed magic spell with a blue level charge, you'll just zap one sim. But if you cast it with orange level charge, then the spell can also affect sims that are nearby the target sim. Another example is with the Copypasto spell. Casting this with a blue charge will net you one duplicate, and with an orange charge and above, 2 duplicates. Charge can impact on potion quality too, allowing you to make higher quality potions at higher charge. Just be wary though, because increased charge levels can also lead to a higher chance of both spell fails and of becoming cursed. And the final thing that you potentially didn't know about spellcasters is just how broken the Copypasto spell is. You can copy lots of things with this spell, and this includes fully grown plants. That's right, if you've got a dragon fruit bush or a money tree, then it's time to make that 7, and reap all of the riches that come with it. You can copy potions too, meaning that provided that you have one potion, you can just copy it instead of actually brewing more. And with that, we're at the end. That's 12 things that you hopefully didn't know about spellcasters. If you enjoyed or found this helpful, then know that I have more videos on little known occult features, so check them out if you want to. And I hope that you have an amazing day. See you later!